So apparently, the first Ninja Turtles comic book was made by a guy and his friend as a spoof of all the other superhero comic books that were coming out in that time period using their tax return money. All I can say is, thank goodness for irresponsible spending. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So in case you've lived in a cave for the last forever, this movie is a reboot. The first comic book came out in 1984. Ever since then, there's been numerous comic books, movies, TV shows, toys, the whole 9 yards. And now we have this 2014 reboot. So to start off, let's just put this in perspective. This is a movie about giant crime-fighting turtles. When you go into this movie, adjust expectations accordingly. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The turtles were really, really fun to watch. They were intimidating as crap. I mean, these turtles are like at least 6'6". Like, they're just huge, and their arms are just like the size of my torso. They're just built. And when they throw down, it is so much fun to watch. And there's this one scene where they just take this henchman and just throw him. Good douche! Up against this wall, the wall cracks, guy hits the ground, and you're just like, oh! That was violent. And they're funny. Their humor is really good. They're funny. A lot of their humor is directed towards kids. And their senses of humor really make me think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That's one thing I liked about this movie was they did a really good job of keeping the focus on the fact that these guys are just teenagers. The movie was constantly reminding you that these guys are just a bunch of kids. And I really like that. I mean, that could have made this movie a lot worse if they had lost focus of that somewhere, but they didn't. And that was really good. And they directed a lot of that humor towards the kids in the audience, the young kids. Like, in the theater that I was in, every 10 seconds there was a little kid busting his gut, just laughing so hard. And frankly, I feel like that made the movie more enjoyable for everybody. But that's where it falters as well, because I feel like Michael Bay got his hand in there, and they felt like they just needed to sprinkle in little pieces of adultism, of things that are for adults, just to try to keep the adults entertained. And I feel like it wasn't needed. Like, there are little snippets, little lines of dialogue, or shots that just don't need to be in there, that are clearly, like, not for kids. Like, I feel like this movie had a really hard time deciding who its target audience was. Like, I feel like they directed it mostly towards kids, but they were still trying to, like, hang on to the kids and, like, reach back and keep the adults coming too. And they didn't need to do that. I feel like if you're a parent and you're taking this kid to this movie, your kid's going to enjoy it so much that you're going to enjoy it through your kid. You're going to enjoy the fact that your kid is having so much fun. And I mean, like, for those teenagers and early 20s that don't have kids yet, you're going to enjoy it anyways, because the humor is to the point where you guys are going to like it anyways. And of course, they had to get Megan Fox. I don't know why Megan Fox is in this movie. First of all, for those of you who don't know, April O'Neil is a redhead in all the comic books, all the TV shows, everything. She's a redheaded reporter. If you don't know, Megan Fox has black hair. Doesn't look anything like her. She's there for two things. She's there primarily for eye candy, and she's there to be a damsel in distress. There are shots of just her, just so guys can look at her. There are just shots of just her and her body, just so guys in the audience can look at her. It just didn't work. And her sidekick, Will Arnett, he was there. That's really all I gotta say about that. Shredder was okay. You know, I've heard a lot of people saying they didn't like the way that the mechanical Shredder looked. I thought it worked. Thought it was pretty cool. You know, Shredder, he's obviously Shredder. He's a knife guy. He's got the knives everywhere. It worked. He's got knives. Why not give him more? That was pretty cool, I thought. William Fichtner, he was good. I like William Fichtner. He's a pretty good actor. He did good in his role. No complaints there. I'm still waiting for the sequel where it turns out that Whoopi Goldberg was actually a turtle the whole time. And then she looked close enough to a human that they put her in the news industry so they could throw her off the turtle scent. It's gonna happen. So in the end, I had a really good time with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a movie for kids. Kids are gonna have a laugh a minute. It's a good time for all the kids. I feel like it could have been a lot better if they had just taken out some of the adult stuff that didn't need to be in there. They should have just let the adult stuff go. kept it a kids movie. Adults would have enjoyed it through their kids or just as much, because the sense of humor is really not, it's not that bad. It's a good sense of humor. It's funny. It's a good time. It's fun to watch the turtles do their thing. So in the end, I'm giving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles an 8. Okay, so I want to know, if you watched the movie, in the comments section below, which one of the turtles is your favorite? I want to know. Mine, of course, Whoopi Goldberg. She was the most realistic looking turtle out of all of them. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. Come back for more later. And you can check out my Guardians of the Galaxy review below. And in true Turtles fashion, I'll leave with Cowabunga.